There's a story that begins with silence, a story whispered through thorn and sand, across dunes that seem to hold nothing, beneath skies so wide they swallow the horizon. From afar, the desert looks empty, but hidden in the heat are secret reservoirs, soft hearts encased in spines and scales and bark. These are the desert's silent water bearers, life forms that defy the rules we imagine for survival. They do not wait for rain. They make their own rain. They store the essence of life within themselves and share it with creatures and cultures that have learned to listen. In a world that grows hotter and drier, their lessons may be the difference between famine and abundance. Welcome to Nature Lost Vault. Today, the archive opens in the world's driest places, deserts, where rain may not fall for years, where temperatures can climb beyond 100 degrees and drop below freezing in the same night. In such extremes, most life perishes, yet certain plants and animals have not only survived, but flourished. They are the architects of resilience, the engineers of endurance. To understand them is to understand how life endures when water disappears. Our journey begins with a family of plants that have turned scarcity into excess, succulents. You see them in windowsills and gardens, their swollen leaves and stems a badge of exoticism. In the desert, that swelling is not ornamental, it is life. Succulence is an ancient strategy. Store water in fleshy tissues and spend it slowly. Beneath the waxy skin of an agave leaf or the plump pad of a prickly pear lie cells filled with mucilage that locks in moisture. Succulents wear a waxy coat so slick that when their microscopic pores close, they become almost waterproof. They reduce their leaf surface area to minimize evaporation, shifting photosynthesis into stems and trunks. When rains come, agaves, aloes, elephant trees, and other succulents drink fast. Their roots spread like a mat just beneath the soil, gathering every drop before it vanishes. Unlike deep-rooted trees, succulents cannot wait for the soil to soak. Desert rains are brief, and the ground dries quickly. Their roots run outward more than downward, sometimes stretching as far as the plant is tall, but only a few inches deep. In those surface inches, the desert holds a surprise. When night falls, dew condenses. Spines on a cactus break up the wind and trap this dew, channeling droplets toward the roots through microgrooves carved by evolution. Each spine becomes a needle stitching water back into the plant, and the spines cast tiny shadows that cool the flesh. Saguaros, those giant sentinels, pleat like accordions. In a single summer storm, a saguaro can soak up hundreds of gallons of water, swelling so its ribs almost disappear. With no leaves, photosynthesis happens in the green skin. Shallow roots detach to hold water in, and months later, when the land is dry again, the stored rain still sustains the cactus. Not all plants store water in their flesh. Some reach for hidden streams. Mesquite is a thorny desert tree whose taproot dives deeper than most wells. Smooth mesquite has been found with roots descending 160 feet into the earth, tapping ancient groundwater untouched by drought. As it pulls that water upward, it fertilizes the soil by fixing nitrogen and dropping leaves that feed microbes. Its shade cools the ground, its flowers feed bees, and its pods nourish animals and people. Inside each golden pod lies a flour rich in natural sugars, complete protein, and soluble fiber. Ground and sifted, the flour can be baked into bread or stirred into drinks. It lasts for months without spoiling. A mesquite grove turns barren sand into an oasis, providing shelter and food for deer, coyotes, and cattle. For thousands of years, indigenous families, Pima, Tohono O'odham, Yaqui, and Seri, gathered mesquite pods as they fell like rain and milled them into flour. Deep roots teach us that sometimes the solution lies far beneath our feet. On another continent, a different tree has become legend for its capacity to swallow water. The Baobab looks like an upside-down tree, its branches like roots in the sky. Beneath its smooth bark is a trunk more sponge than wood. It swells with stored water, its folds channeling rain toward its base. In the dry season, the baobab drops its leaves to reduce loss. Elephants chew its spongy bark when watering holes dry. Its fruit, rich in vitamin C, is soaked to make a refreshing drink. Its leaves and seeds feed communities when crops fail. Among its many gifts, the baobab's fibrous bark can be stripped and spun into rope, mats, nets, and paper. Its leaves are rich in calcium and can be cooked as a vegetable. Its seeds yield nutritious oil. People have hollowed baobab trunks to use as barns, shelters, and cisterns. Hunters once carved cisterns inside baobabs to collect rainwater, creating natural water tanks for travelers and wildlife. In some African myths, the baobab was planted upside down by a disgruntled deity, explaining its root-like branches. Baobabs can live for millennia, surviving droughts, wars, and the rise of civilizations. The baobab is a time capsule that keeps the sky inside wood and provides for those who honor it. Plants aren't the only architects of water. The desert tortoise spends the hottest months underground, in a burrow angled to trap cooler air. To survive without drinking, it keeps its own canteen. A tortoise can store nearly half its body weight in water inside its bladder. After rain, it digs shallow basins to catch puddles and drink deeply, then retreats underground and recycles that water for months. Its domed shell shields it from heat and predators. Its burrows shelter many other animals that seek refuge from the heat. When frightened or mishandled, a tortoise may empty its bladder to lighten its body, which can be fatal if rain does not return. For more than 50 years, biologists have recognized the desert tortoise as a keystone species because its presence creates habitat for others. The tortoise reminds us that survival can depend on what you choose to carry. The Gila monster, another desert dweller, is one of the few venomous lizards in North America. It spends most of its life in crevices or burrows. When it emerges in spring, it feeds on eggs, birds, and small mammals, then stores water in its bladder and fat in its tail. It tolerates dehydration that would kill many creatures, allowing its body to lighten by nearly a third before seeking water again. Chuck Wallace and other lizards keep fluid in lymph sacs along their bodies. Evolution has turned these reptiles into living bottles, prepared for drought that may stretch for months. In the Australian outback, the water-holding frog waits underground. When the land dries, it burrows and seals itself in a cocoon of mucus. Inside, it slows its metabolism almost to a halt and stores water in its bladder and tissues. This estivation lasts until rain wakes the frog. Aboriginal people once squeezed these frogs gently for a sip of water, then let them go. When rains finally arrive, the water-holding frog emerges from its cocoon to breed in temporary ponds. It lays eggs in shallow pools that may dry within weeks, so the tadpoles grow quickly, morphing into froglets before the water disappears. The frog is a living well, carrying the precious substance for itself and, occasionally, for others. Its ability to wait out droughts for years reminds us how patience and preparation can mean survival. One of the desert's most intriguing water savers never drinks liquid at all. The kangaroo rat of North America lives on seeds from creosote bushes and mesquite trees. Inside those seeds is carbohydrate that, when metabolized, becomes water. By eating and digesting them, the kangaroo rat performs a kind of alchemy, turning food into drink. It has kidneys adapted to extract nearly every drop from its waste, producing urine so concentrated it is almost solid. Its nasal passages contain intricate turbinate bones that condense moisture from exhaled air and return it to the body. Even its fur-lined cheek pouches keep seeds dry, preventing loss of saliva. Those powerful hind legs allow it to leap over a meter to evade predators while conserving energy. It forages by night when the air is cooler and humidity higher, and it stores seeds in underground caches for later. A kangaroo rat may live its entire life without taking a single sip of liquid water, surviving on the hidden moisture inside food. To the kangaroo rat, the desert is not an ocean of thirst, but a pantry of hidden water. Among the desert's giants, Camels stride across sands with humps that store fat, not water. When fat breaks down, it yields both energy and moisture. Camels sweat little and can let their body temperatures rise during the day and fall at night, reducing the need for evaporative cooling. They can drink dozens of gallons at once and rehydrate their unique oval red blood cells without rupturing them. Those cells can swell when the camel drinks and shrink when the camel is dehydrated, keeping the blood flowing. Their nostrils close to keep out sand, and double rows of eyelashes protect their eyes. Their kidneys concentrate urine, and their intestines absorb so much water that their droppings are dry enough to burn as fuel. Even their gait, a pacing motion, where the legs on one side move together, conserves energy over long distances. For centuries, camels have carried people and goods across arid lands, providing milk and meat. They remain vital as climate change makes drought more frequent. Their biology is a lesson in how to turn scarcity into resilience. On the coast of Southwest Africa, fog is a river in the sky. Rain seldom falls here, yet one insect drinks from the air. The Namib darkling beetle climbs to the crest of a dune and faces the wind, raising its body toward the fog. Its hardened wings are covered in microscopic bumps whose tops are hydrophilic, attracting water, and valleys that are hydrophobic, repelling it. As fog drifts past, droplets gather on the hydrophilic tips, then roll down the hydrophobic channels toward the beetle's mouth. By simply standing still and letting the fog condense, the beetle can increase its body weight by nearly a third in a single fog event. On some mornings, fog-basking beetles line the dunes like tiny black statues. Scientists studying the beetle's shell have designed fog nets and surface coatings that mimic this pattern, turning air into drinking water for communities along coastal deserts. The beetle, unaware of its influence, performs its humble ritual, as it has for millennia. Many desert plants and animals use dew and fog. Fine hairs and spines on cacti collect droplets at night. Some plants only open their pores after dark to take in carbon dioxide, storing it as an acid and photosynthesizing by day while keeping their pores closed. This process, called crassulation acid metabolism, or CAM, lets them make sugars while losing far less water than typical plants. When drought persists, some CAM plants enter an idling state, closing pores day and night and surviving on the moisture already inside them. In the soil, thin layers of cyanobacteria, lichens, and mosses form crusts that hold moisture and prevent erosion. Seeds of many desert annuals have waxy coats that let them wait for the right rain, then germinate all at once, turning a brown plain into a brief carpet of flowers. These strategies show that storing water may not mean holding a lake. Sometimes it means slowing a trickle. A few desert plants cycle water quickly rather than storing it long-term. The ocotillo appears lifeless most of the year, its stems like dry sticks. After a single rain, it bursts with small leaves and bright red flowers, photosynthesizing intensely for a short time before shedding leaves again. Pollinators such as hummingbirds and bees flock to its blooms, linking water to the wider web of life. The bujum tree, native to Baja California, looks like a tapered trunk with few branches. It holds water in its stem, but produces leaves only briefly after rain. These species illustrate a different rhythm. Use water fast to make seeds and flowers, then wait in dormancy. Succulents have long been part of human culture. Peoples of the American Southwest roasted agave hearts in pits until the tough fibers transformed into sweet, nutritious food. Fibers from agave leaves were twisted into rope and woven into sandals, nets, and baskets. The sap, called aguamiel, could be fermented into pulque, a mildly alcoholic drink. Aloe vera gel has soothed burns, healed wounds, and moisturized skin for thousands of years. Even the humble prickly pear cactus provides both fruit and pads for food and dye. In arid regions of India and Africa, People plant hedges of euphorbias and cacti around homes to create living fences that store water, mark property, and resist fire. These traditions reveal that humans have long partnered with succulents, recognizing their ability to hold water as a source of nourishment, material, and medicine. Mesquite has also sustained humans and animals. Its honey-sweet pods fall like rain in late summer. Ground into flour, they fed indigenous communities from the Tohono O'odham to the Seri. The pods contain natural sugars, protein, and fiber, and keep for months. Bees sip its nectar, deer browse its leaves, and livestock eat the pods when grass is scarce. Mesquite turns hidden groundwater into nourishment above ground. The same mesquite trees that were once cleared as weeds to make way for cotton and cattle are now being replanted to heal degraded soils. The baobab offers many gifts. Its bark fibers become rope, baskets, and mats. Its leaves are cooked as a vegetable. Its seeds yield oil. People have hollowed baobabs to use as barns, shelters, and cisterns. Stories describe the baobab as a tree planted upside down by a god. Whether myth or ecology, the baobab's shape and longevity remind us that to survive drought, one must hold water within and use it sparingly. These water-bearing animals and plants face threats they were not designed to meet. Climate change intensifies droughts and heat waves. Human development clears vegetation and compacts soil. Overgrazing and invasive grasses disrupt the delicate balance. Mesquite groves have been cleared for cotton and cattle, but now are slowly returning. Baobabs in southern Africa have begun dying in unusual numbers, possibly because of warming and drying climates. The Sunland baobab, famous for its bar carved inside a hollow trunk, collapsed after more than 1,000 years of life. In the Mojave Desert, tortoises are threatened by roads and off-road vehicles, while fog patterns along the Namib coast appear to be shifting, potentially depriving fog-basking beetles of their daily drink. Kangaroo rats lose habitat to agriculture and invasive grasses that change fire regimes. Even camels cannot thrive where overgrazing has stripped the land of forage. Such stories remind us that even creatures adapted to scarcity have limits, yet hope remains. Engineers copy the Namib beetle to design fog nets that provide water in dry places. Farmers explore cultivating agave and prickly pear for food and fuel with little irrigation. Pastoralists are turning to camels in regions once dominated by cows or goats. Conservationists restore mesquite and cactus to stabilize soil and provide forage. Indigenous communities revive traditional foods like mesquite flour and baobab fruit. In 2021, Mexico's National Forestry Commission launched programs to replant mesquite across hundreds of thousands of hectares of degraded land, and farmers in Argentina, India, and Kenya are experimenting with drought-tolerant trees to heal the soil. NASA researchers studying sustainable crops note how mesquite's deep roots access water that other plants cannot, making it a candidate for climate-resilient agriculture. Protected areas safeguard tortoise burrows and frog habitats. Each of these initiatives follows a lesson from the desert. Adaptation begins by working with what exists, rather than trying to remake the land into a field of thirsty crops. As we leave the vault, silence returns. The desert still appears empty at noon. The sand still shimmers with heat. But beneath the surface and within the bodies of plants and animals, water flows, hidden and protected. The silent water bearers will never advertise their treasures. They have nothing to prove. Their value lies in what they teach, that resilience is not the accumulation of wealth, but the careful use of resources. That life persists because organisms care for themselves and, by extension, their community. That something as small as a dew-collecting spine or a bladder full of water can mean survival. In the driest places, life depends on those who carry water not for themselves alone, but for the desert as a whole. If this vault stirred something in you, share it, subscribe, and ring the bell to keep these lessons alive. In the next vault, we will explore more forgotten wisdom. Until then, remember, answers to tomorrow's hunger and thirst may already be growing quietly in the soil and the sand, carried by the silent water bearers who have been here all along.